Our next speaker, Dr. Sheila Flemming.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
The research by the Atlanta alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated found that as a result of enslavement, discrimination, and an unrelenting desire for white supremacy, Black Atlantans currently experience disparities in nearly every folkway and industry. The case for establishing a study about reparations for Black Atlantans is poignant but necessary. The history of the city having laws, practices, and leadership that negatively affected Black people in almost every sector of life from its very beginning underscore the need for repair and remedy. Some examples include, in the 1890s, the Supreme Court allowed Georgia to levy taxes on Black and white citizens alike while providing a public school for white children only. The consequences of the 1906 massacre of Black Atlantans have not been fully studied and recompense addressed. Centuries of housing and land use policies denied Black households access to the same level of home ownership, education, credit, and neighborhood opportunities offered to white households. The consequences of this have directly resulted in disproportionate poverty and unemployment rates for Black people in America. In 1957, the city bought 600 acres of land in Somerville, Mechanicsville, and Peoplestown, displacing thousands of Black residents and closing more than 100 Black-owned businesses in favor of development for white residents. During the 1960s and 70s, Mayor Ivan Allen Jr. built the Atlanta Stadium, according to a Georgia Tech researcher, to thought proposers requesting to use the land for public housing for low-income residents. More Black residents were displaced to provide extra parking spaces for the stadium. In the 1990s, as Atlanta prepared to host the Olympics, the city demolished its public housing. Atlanta was the first city to introduce public housing in 1935, and by 2011, they were all gone. 30,000, mostly Black low-income residents were evicted or displaced from their housing in the city. In 2005, the Atlanta Beltline was planned as a multi-billion-dollar mega project and is a major driver of gentrification in Atlanta and is resulting in another wave of displacement of Black residents for surrounding neighborhoods. The Atlanta alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated provided a position paper on reparations for the City Council's work. We hope you have a copy of that. As indicated, that position paper in the statement of intent authored by the Atlanta alumni chapter of Delta, a commission should investigate evidence-based harms through empirical research supported by qualitative and quantitative data to develop a feasibility study for reparations for Black Atlantans.